Okay, so like I was saying, we've learned how to graph a parabola before from vertex form. Last class, we learned how to graph a parabola from factored form. And today what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to go backwards. So I'm going to give you the shape of a parabola, and I'm going to ask you to figure out what the equation is. Now, I did give you a question like this on your assessment, but for that question, it was really easy to figure out the A value, right? All you do is you start at the vertex, you go one to the right, and then you figure out how much you're going up. And if the number is a whole number, then you really don't have to do any calculations. But for all of these, the A value is not so easy to read. And we're not going to estimate it. We're actually going to calculate it. So we're really, really accurate. But for example, for this one, when I go one to the right and I go up, I don't know if that's 1.5. I don't know if that's 1.6, 1.8, 1.4. I don't know how much we're actually going up. So let's learn a method that always works that we can use literally for every single parabola ever. Please, please, please. I'm always so scared I'm going to forget my charger and then everything's done. Okay, so I can very clearly read off 2 points, and I actually made sure to make those really, really obvious. So one of the points, which is the vertex, is at 2, -3. And the other point, which is over here, is the y-intercept, and that's going to be at 0, 3. So to do questions like this, you always need the vertex and you need one of the other points. Okay, to start off this question, I'm going to remind you what the equation of a parabola is. So it's y is equal to ax minus h squared plus k. Samira? When I give you a graph and I ask you to tell me what the equation of the graph is. And I also have your sheet from last day. Hold on, I have it right here. Yeah. Okay, so remember when we were learning this equation, so we'll just highlight a couple of parts of it. We learned that this tells me my vertical stretch or compression. This tells me my vertical translation. And this tells me my horizontal translation, right? So just think back to last week when we did all the transformations. So if I've been given the vertex, do you guys remember which letters we're going to put those numbers into? Yep, Safir? Exactly. So let's start with that. We're going to put 2, -3 into this value and this value over here. Okay, so we're going to have y is equal to, we don't know what a is because we can't really read it accurately. It could be any decimal. And then inside the bracket, am I going to write x plus 2 or am I going to write x minus 2? Yeah, it's, sorry, did you say plus 2? There you go. It's always going to be the opposite of whatever number you have here. So if this number is a +2, you're going to write -2 over here. And then how about out here? What am I going to put? +3 or -3, Krishna? Yeah, this number stays the same. So whatever number you have here, you're going to keep it as -3. Okay, that's the easy part, right? Putting in the vertex, you're just working backwards. Now, here's the more difficult part. We need to figure out what this A value is. And in order for us to calculate this A value, this is where this number or this point comes into play. What we're going to do is we're going to call this X and we're going to call this Y. And we're actually going to be plugging those numbers in to this X and Y and solving for A. So I'll repeat it again. You take the other point that you were given in the question, and you're going to plug it into this X and this Y. And in doing so, you're now able to solve for A. Okay, so let's try it. My Y value is a 3. So I'm going to write 3 is equal to. I still don't know what A is. I'm trying to calculate that. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's my X value? 0, because I'm getting it right from here. -2 squared minus 3. Okay, now this part is just straight BEDMAS. So we're going to solve it like we used to in grade 9. So we're going to have 3 here. 0 minus 2 is -2. -2 squared is -2 times -2. So this actually just reduces to become a 4 minus 3. Does everyone get how I got that 4? Or did I do too fast? You get it, right? Okay, now I want the a to be by itself. So see this -3? I'm going to move it to the other side. And when I move it to the other side, it's going to become a +3. So really, this 3 will stay. This -3 becomes a +3. And then this is a 4a. It's just equation work. Samira?
Can you like explain the graph before?
This part?
No, what about it?
Yeah, so all I did was I put in a 0 because of this x here. This y goes here. And now I'm just using BEDMAS and algebra to solve. So BEDMAS tells me I got to do the exponent first. 0 minus 2 is -2. -2 squared is 4. And then I move this -3 over. It became 3 plus 3 is equal to 4a. Now I'm just going to keep solving. So it's going to be 6 is equal to 4a. And a is just going to be equal to, I don't have enough room. I'm going to move it over here. So to solve this, I just divide both sides by 4, and I'm basically going to get a is equal to 6 over 4, which can be reduced to a is equal to 3 over 2. So it just so happens that our a value is 1.5, but we weren't sure. It could have been like 3 over, I don't know, 5 or something. No, it couldn't have been 3 over 5. It could have been like 5 over 2. No, it couldn't have been that either. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is it could have been a number that isn't so obvious. So you have to do the math to figure it out. All right, now that we have our a value, we can go back to this equation and put this a value into this part right here. So to finish off this part of the question, I'm just going to take this equation. I'll just do it on the side over here. It's going to be y is equal to 3 over 2 x minus 2 squared minus 3. And that is our equation in vertex form. Okay, so I have a little blank over here for you guys. So you guys can just go ahead and copy that exact same answer here. The answer is y is equal to 3 over 2 x minus 2 squared minus 3. And that's really it. We're basically doing this exact same step for every single question. You first put in the numbers for your vertex, then you solve for a, and then you plug that value back into a for the equation. That's your final answer. Now, just for practice, we're going to change this vertex form to standard form because I think we only practiced doing that once, and I just want to get us to do a little bit more practice on doing that. Samira?
So you know when you got like 6 over 4?
Yep.
Like, give you the number that's not with the variable, the one on top.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you just make this fraction?
Yep. So basically over here, I just divided both sides by 4. To get rid of the 4 over here, if it's multiplied to the a, the opposite is divide. So you divide both sides by 4. So you get, I just flipped it around. It would have been 6 over 4 is equal to a.
So like 4 divided by 4.
6 divided by 4. Yeah, 4 divided by 4 is just a 1. So that means you get a 1a here. And then this becomes 6 over 4.
So like, can you just think of it as like taking the number that's not with the variable and seeing it as the constant?
Sure. Yeah, you can think of it that way. Yep. Angelique? Can you change the 3 over 4? Yeah, sure. If you wanted to make it into a mixed fraction, you could. Yeah. Okay. So here we have something in vertex form. By the way, we solved the question. This was the question that I was asking. But like I said, just for extra practice, let's convert it to standard form. So how do I convert something to standard form, Safir? Yeah, so we're going to expand the x minus 2 squared into 2x minus 2's. Then we're going to FOIL this. So remember, first, x times x is x squared. Outer, x times negative 2 is negative 2x. Inner, negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And then last, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 minus 3. So there's nothing fancy, like there's no factoring or anything. It's just distributing and all that stuff. Okay, now I'm going to clean up what's in here. So it's going to be 3 over 2, and it's going to be x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 3. And then what are you going to do? How do I get rid of those brackets? I'm going to distribute the 3 over 2. Yeah. So I'm going to get 3 over 2 x squared. This will become negative 12 over 2, which is negative 6x. This will become 12 over 2, which is positive 6 minus 3. And then to end it off, it's just going to be 3 over 2x squared minus 6x plus 3. And then that's your final answer. We're not gonna do this for every single question because obviously it takes a long time. But if you wanted extra practice, you could just try it yourself. Shweta? That's only for the line. For quadratic standard form, you can have fractions, you can have negatives, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just gonna rewrite this answer over here as well. It's gonna be y is equal to 3 over 2 x squared minus 6x plus 3. Okay, so yeah, sure. Yep. I'll come back recording faster. So question number 2. First, I identified the vertex. In this question, it's -1, 2. And I have one other point, which I'll always be given. And if it's not given, you should be able to find another point on the parabola easily. All right, I'm going to start with our formula, which is y is equal to ax minus h squared plus k. Just pick one. Yeah. So if the vertex has an x value of -1, what am I going to put inside the bracket? I'm going to put +1. So it's going to be x plus 1 squared. And then if this value is 2, what am I going to put over here? Just a +2. So the only one that changes the sign is the x value. What's my next step? What am I going to do now? Excellent. Yeah. So the second coordinate, let's say it's x and y. I'm going to be putting those values into this x and this y. Okay. So I can see my y is a -1. Do I know what my a is? Or is that what I'm trying to find? That's what I'm trying to find. So I'm going to keep the a there. What's my x value? -4 plus 1 squared plus 2. You guys good with this? Yeah, okay. BEDMAS tells me I gotta solve what's in here first. So -1 is equal to a. What's -4 plus 1? -3. What's -3 squared? 9. So this right here is just going to be a 9. I want the a to be by itself, so I have to move the 2 over. When I move the 2 over, what will it become? -2. So this is going to be -1 minus 2 is equal to 9a. And like my 9 and my a both look the same. 9a. I'm going to keep solving this. So this is -3 is equal to 9a. And then if I'm trying to solve this, all you're going to do is you're going to divide both sides by -3. And when you do that, oh, sorry, not -3. What am I going to divide both sides by? Yeah, I have to get rid of the 9, right? So I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So 9 divided by 9 is just a 1a. So I'm going to get a is equal to, it's just going to be -3 divided by 9. But what's -3 divided by 9? -1 over 3. You guys smell that? It's like a nice smell, but did someone spray something? Cologne, yeah. Okay, and then as our final step, we are just going to take this equation and rewrite it with the a value. So it's going to be y is equal to, what am I going to put for the a value? -1 over 3 x plus 1 squared plus 2. That's my answer in vertex form. Yep. Yes, you are. I'm going to just show you the answer for standard form so you can maybe, because I didn't give you the answers because I want to try. So I'm going to write it down here. And that way, maybe later you can try it yourselves and see if you get this as an answer. So this is going to be your answer in standard form. Okay, so if anything, just copy it down and see if you can get it to be this. Okay, you're going to try question 3 yourselves, and then you're going to share your answers with a partner. Make sure you guys have the exact same number. Yep. Let me try it. Let's see if there's a mistake in the answer or. Okay, so I would do -1 over 3. -1 over 3 x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 2. And then it would be -1 over 3 x squared minus 2 over 3x minus 1 over 3 plus 6 over 3. And then this would be -1 over 3 x squared minus 2 over 3x plus 5 over 3. Nope, that's, oh, this one should be -2. Yeah, you're right. This number here, yeah. Good catch. So this right here should be -2. Okay, go ahead and try question 3. And like I said, share it with a partner. I'm just going to put the answer on the board and then you can see if you get the same thing. So I'm not going to do question 3. It seems like most of you got it. Some of you for vertex form were writing it like this. You were writing it y is equal to 5x minus 0 squared minus 4. If that helps you understand, if that helps you sleep at night, no, I'm kidding. If that helps you understand it, totally fine. You can write it like that. Just make sure standard form is written like this. The reason why I cross off factored form is because to factor this, you need to use the quadratic formula, and I didn't want to do that right now. And I probably wouldn't ask you something that tricky. If I do ask you for factored form, it will be really easily factorable. All right, the last 2 examples are a little bit different. I'm not giving you any I'm not giving you any graphs. I'm just giving you a couple of facts. But when I do a question like this, in order for me to visualize it, I am going to sketch out a little graph just to see what's happening so I can figure out what's happening. It's just a sketch, so we don't have to be super accurate, but it tells me I have a 0. What does the word mean, Krisha? Yeah, remember the word today. Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording until it shows up. We'll take it up in a second. There we go.
Try it. We'll take it up in a second. So it's gonna be X. And then Y remember the y-intercept, if you want the coordinate, it's going to be 0, -72. Right? 0, which makes the calculation a lot easier. No, standard form is the same as this. So this is already in standard form. Like if you were to just make this 5x squared minus 4, that's already in standard form. Let's go from vertex form to standard form. You don't need to do this word. That's when you go from standard form to vertex form. No, I didn't want vertex form to standard form. X is x squared, x is 0 is 0, and 0 is 0. So this yeah. The negative one something. Oh yeah. Yeah. X and Y. Okay. We were ready for standard form. So this 0 is there, and 0 is not there. So this 4 is in here. Yeah, the other 0 doesn't matter. How did the 0 is 4? No. Okay, let's try it. Question? You got an answer? Would you get -3x minus 4 26?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So let's take this up. We have